If you build a deck without a permit, the city has code enforcement officers that drive by, and a lot of times they'll find that. One, you're going to pay some fines. You're going to pay probably the double or triple the permit fee that you normally would. They're most likely going to put a cease and desist order on that project or a stop work order. You could even receive a summons to appear in court. And then you can be assured that when you go through those inspections, that field inspector is going to be a lot more stringent than he would otherwise, because he doesn't trust you a lot. So it's always a good idea to pull a permit beforehand, and the permit needs to be issued before the work starts. You can't just go apply for a permit and then start building a deck and hope just call in for inspections when the permit's issued. It needs to be issued and paid for before that work starts, or else you could potentially face those consequences. Yeah, if a deck is already built and it was never permitted, and then it's flagged by the city, or a neighbor calls in, something happens, and you're required to pull a permit on it, you're going to have to go through that permit process. The challenge with that is there's some inspections that got to go on before that deck was completed. There's peer inspections. If the deck's low to the ground, there's going to be a framing inspection. They may not be able to do those inspections after that deck is built. They have every right to say, take that deck down, start over. So it's really, you're kind of at their mercy if you go that route. Now, say you had a builder that did it, and a homeowner had a builder that built the deck, and homeowner didn't know anything else. They thought the permit was being pulled and whatnot. They're probably going to be pretty lenient with you. And if it's a homeowner that built it, the city may be lenient with you too, because you're not a professional. You may or may not have known what was required. If it's a builder that does that, a builder absolutely knows they have to have a permit on that, and they're not going to be very lenient on it. Just last week, we got a call from an apartment complex, I won't say where. They had many decks that were in violation, and because that's considered a commercial use, they were being mandated by the city to have all the decks in code compliance in 30 days, and it was no small feat. We've seen it many times throughout the years of decks, being flagged and being way out of code, and the city's coming after them. They do not take that lightly, because it's a liability for not just that homeowner, that occupant, that tenant. It's a homeowner. It's a liability for anybody using that deck. So if a neighbor comes over, a family friend, that somebody doesn't know any better, the next homeowner, it's a liability for everybody. And what people don't often realize about decks is, if they're not built right, they can be deadly. I mean, so if you have a deck that's 10 feet off the ground and it falls off the house, whether you're on it or below it, it can be catastrophic. So it's very, very important that you follow code compliance.